Today we are going to learn about matter. Now matter refers to anything that has mass and takes up space. Just looking around us, can you think of some things that have mass and take up space? Well, I'm matter, right? I take up space and I have mass. This whiteboard behind me takes up space and has mass. Let's think about what else matter could be. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the three states of matter. Matter can be either a solid, it can be a liquid, or it can be a gas. I have the definitions behind me. A solid has a definite volume and a definite shape. I have a washer. Now, does this have a definite shape? It does. It definitely has a circular shape. Can I change the shape? Can I bend it? I can't change the shape. Now, what about the volume? Volume refers to taking up space. Does it take up the same amount of space if I put it here or if I put it there? This washer takes up the same amount of space anywhere I put it. I can put it on a plate and it takes up the same amount of space as it would inside of this cup, right? Takes up, it doesn't change based on its container. What about this marble? Is this a solid? Well, let's see. Does it have a definite shape? It does. And does it have a definite volume? It does, right? Same as the washer. I can put it on this plate and it takes up the same amount of space as it does inside of the cup or as on this table. Now these are solids. Remember, solids have a definite shape and a definite volume. They take up the same amount of space and they have a definite shape. Now let's talk about the next state of matter, which is a liquid. It has a definite volume, but it doesn't have a definite shape. A liquid, my favorite liquid, is water. Clear and colorless. I have a container here that has water filled up almost to the very, very top. Now, does this water have a definite shape? I don't think so. I can move it around. The shape changes as I am in this container. What if I move it into a graduated cylinder? Did the shape change? Sure did. The shape is different. Did the volume change? Did the amount change? Didn't change. It looks like it changed, right? Because in this container, it looked like it was full, but now it looks like it's, about 3/4 full. It's just that this container holds more liquid. Now, what if I pour it in? Did it change shape again? It did. Now, did the volume change? Did the amount change? The amount didn't change. A liquid's volume stays the same. It has a definite volume. The only thing that changed from here to here to here was the shape. Now let's pour it back and confirm we have the same amount. We have the same amount, minus a few drops that I've left over, but we definitely have the same amount back. The only thing we've changed each time is the shape. Now, I have another flask here. And what would you say is inside of this flask? Would you say there's matter? Is this matter? Yes, this is definitely matter. Has a definite shape and a definite volume. But what about the inside? Is there anything inside of it? That's a tricky question, right? But that's our third state of matter, is a gas. Now gases don't have a definite shape and they don't have a definite volume. But they have mass and they take up space. It's hard, I know. I'm going to do a couple of experiments to show you that they really, really do take up space. Now what I have here is a glass bottle and small piece of paper that I just crumpled up. Look and see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this piece of paper right at the edge. And I'm going to attempt to blow the piece of paper, the crumpled up piece of paper, inside. Easy enough, right? Seems like we can do this. Let's see what happens when I try this. Well, that didn't work, right? Instead of going in, it came out. Let's try this again. Did you guys see me? I blew air out. I tried to blow that piece of paper back in, and what did it do? It flew out again. Like something was pushing it out. What's inside of here? There's air inside of here, right? Air. We can't see it. It's clear, it's colorless, but there was no more space for that piece of paper to go in because all of the air was filling up this whole container. It is filled with air. Now, you guys can try this with a similar size container and a small piece of paper. Tell me how it goes. Are you able to get the piece of paper inside? Now what we're going to do is we are going to prove that air, which is a gas, has no definite shape and no definite volume. I have a container here, a bottle, a water bottle, and inside I have a clear colorless liquid. And inside of my balloon, I actually have a white powder-like substance. Watch what happens, and right now you can see the balloon is deflated and it's completely flat. It's taking up space, but it's not taking up a whole lot of space. Let's see what happens as I empty the contents of the balloon into my container. Well, look at that. What happened to my balloon? It got filled. What is it filled with? Is it filled with a solid? No, because definitely does not have a shape. Did it get filled with a liquid? No, can't hear a liquid. What's inside of here? It's a gas. Now, is this balloon now taking up space? It sure is. Inside of this balloon, there's matter. There's gases that are taking up space. This gas is something new that we created, and it's filling up the balloon. Now I'm going to take this balloon and I'm going to tie it up. And let's see if I can change the shape. Did the shape change? It did, right? I can change the shape. What about the amount of space that it takes up? We can change that too. For this part of the lab, you're going to take out your 3 blue balloons from the Ziploc bag that was inside of your enrichment bag. You're going to take the first balloon and fill it with water and place it inside of the freezer until it hardens. It takes about 4 or 5 hours. You're going to fill the second one with water as well and place it at room temperature. Then the third one, you're going to fill with air, making sure that all 3 balloons are filled to exactly the same size. This is a good part for an adult in the house to help you with. Then you will also need 3 containers or 3 cups. You will have to label the 3 cups, cup A, cup B, and cup C. Then you can place the balloons in any order on top of cup A, cup B, and cup C. Again, you will need the help of an adult for this preparation for the lab. For this part of the lab, you're going to go into your enrichment bag and you're going to take out the Ziploc bag that contains the 3 balloons. You're going to need all 3 balloons for this lab. So you're going to take them out and you're going to save the rest for later. Now that you have your 3 balloons, what you have to do is, in advance, you're going to have to fill one of the balloons with water and put them in the freezer. You're going to put one of the other balloons, fill them up with water as well, and leave it at room temperature. And the last one gets filled with air. Important. Now it's important to know that when you are filling up the balloons, you want to fill them up all to about the same size. So remember, I have 2 filled with water, 1 filled with air. The one with the water, the first one with the water, is going to go into the freezer and stay in the freezer for about 4 or 5 hours until it takes enough time, and then we're ready to do the experiment. You're also going to need 3 cups. Any cups will do, and some kind of a marker or a Sharpie. And this is a good part to let the adult in the house set this part up for you. You'll see why. So you're going to label the cups with an A, a B, and a C. And you want to place the balloons onto the cup. Doesn't matter which, it's actually better if you forget. There is a worksheet attached to this YouTube video that you're going to have to print. And now we're going to do the experiment. You have to be as honest as possible. What you have now are 3 balloons labeled A, B, and C. And we're going to see if we can identify what state of matter it is using our 4 different senses: sight, touch, smell, and hearing. And now remember, you have to be honest. So you're going to first sight using your eyes. You're going to look at balloon A. Can you tell by looking at it if it's a solid, liquid, or gas? And here you would write solid, liquid, or gas. And if you can't tell, you would write can't tell. Then you would go to balloon B and look at balloon B. Solid, liquid, or gas. C, solid, liquid, or gas, or can't tell. Then you would touch the balloons. You can actually now pick them up. When you're looking at them, remember, you cannot pick them up. Then you touch. By touching, can you tell if it's a solid, a liquid, or a gas? Same way, you go down the row, A, B, or C, actually down the column, excuse me. Then you smell it. Can you smell if it's a solid, liquid, or gas? Then with hearing, can you hear if it's a solid, liquid, or gas? And finally, to confirm 100%, the only way we can be 100% sure is to poke it with a pin and open it. See, what do we have inside? What's the final outcome? Now go ahead and do this. It's a good place to pause the video, and I will show you my results in just a minute. Now I have my balloon A, balloon B, and balloon C, my worksheet, and something to write with. Balloon A, I'm going to look at it. By looking at it, can I tell if it's a solid, liquid, or a gas? I can't tell, so I'm going to write I can't tell. Balloon B, same. So I'm going to write can't tell. And balloon C, can't tell. You can write can't tell, I don't know, use your own words. So you notice I didn't touch any of the balloons when I was filling out my sheet. Now I'm going to touch them. I'm going to touch the first balloon. Oh, I can tell. Well, you don't want to tap it. Oh yeah. When I touch it, I can feel the temperature. I can also feel if I can change the shape. Can I change the shape? Can't. I know what this one is. I'm going to write solid. Now what about B? I can touch this one too. Oh, this feels pretty heavy. Can I change the shape? I can change the shape. I know it's not a solid, but I can feel that this is probably a liquid. That's B. I'm gonna put that back and let's try C. Whoa! Does it have a definite shape? No. Can I change the shape? Yep, I sure can. I know what's inside of here. This must be a gas. Now let's smell. Again, I'm not gonna touch and have to be as honest as possible. A. Can't smell, so I'm going to write can't tell. Smell does not help me at all. I cannot tell. And what about, nope, can't tell either. So the smell really didn't help me identify them at all. It was almost like sight, couldn't tell. Now let's do the hearing test. Let's pick it up. Can't hear anything this way, but oh, I can hear it this way. What does this feel like? Do I sound it? Sounds like a solid banging on a table. A sounds like a solid to me. What about B? Oh, I can hear liquid moving around. This is definitely a liquid. And let's see this one. I really can't tell because I can't hear anything on this one. So I'm going to write can't tell. Now I've done all three. Now here comes the fun part. Poking them with a pin and figuring out what do I have inside. If you don't have a pin, that's fine. You can use scissors. You can try to rip a hole, but we need a big container to catch our mess inside. Okay, now I have my bowl ready, I have my push pin ready, and I have my balloons. Now make sure there is an adult in the house to help you with this. Do not do this on your own. And let's start with balloon A. I'm going to place it in my container, pop it with a push pin, and let's see what happened. Well, I know that there's no gas in there, and I know there's no liquid because it's not wet everywhere, but what do I have inside? I have a block of ice in the shape of my balloon. This was water that froze, and it took the shape of the balloon. Is this a solid? Sure is. Was I right? Yes, I was. I'm going to go fill it out in my sheet in just a minute. Now let's take out balloon B. Now this is the one that I thought was a liquid, so I better be careful. Oh, I hear water squirting out. What's inside of balloon B? Definitely a liquid. Now let's see, this balloon, did it have its own shape? It did, and the water inside of it now, it's changing shape. It's taking the shape of this big blue bowl. Let's keep that in there. And what about this one? Now this balloon is the one that we thought was a gas, right? It doesn't have its own shape. Now let's poke this with the balloon and see what's inside. Do you hear the gas escaping? What happened to all of the gas that was in the balloon? Where did it go? Did it disappear? Is it gone? Think about that. Once you have completed the lab, your lab worksheet may look similar to mine, or it may look completely different, and that's okay. We all have different answers,
But the placement of our balloons are also different. So don't worry if your A, B, and C are different answers. That's to be expected. As long as every single box is filled out, then you are done.
Now that was a fun experiment with identifying states of matter. And two of those states are pretty simple to understand. The third one is a little bit trickier, right? We have solid ice. We have liquid water. But this last balloon had air inside of it. Now, if the air was trapped inside, we saw it was taking up space and it had a somewhat of a shape. We were able to change the shape. But when I popped our balloon, where did that air go? Here, everywhere. Because gases like to escape. They like to take up as much space as they can. That's how we know they can change their shape. They don't have a definite shape. Three states of matter. Again, solid, liquid, and gas. Look around your house, look around your area and see. Can you identify a solid, a liquid, and a gas?